few issues here and there with the stream as we have 17 drivers. There we go with the notification. That's what we need, so we enable all the details possible. At the moment, broadcast cam, we'll see who will be the first around. It looks like Ash Best, right. Let's get, hold on, let me get a drink first. Whew. Oh, it's good to be back. Oh, it's good to be back. And welcome to everybody. Obviously, we take a few minutes before everybody can obviously get the notification for the stream and we can get up and running. But welcome, one and all, to FP round 0 here at Russia. Round 0, or obviously meaning pre-season. We're starting this week for the pre-season, and we will be doing that around Russia. This means that Russia will not be on the official PSGL calendar, as we are doing it in pre-season. So very exciting to see the drivers go around the Russian circuit. I imagine a couple of drivers have done it in career mode if they've got that far, but not a lot of drivers very experienced around the Russia circuit. So it is going to be a test of not just skill but obviously endurance around a track like Russia. It is very demanding. A lot of mid-speed corners, especially the last sector. The last sector is very mid-speed. You know, a lot of second, third gear sort of entries and exits, which is very tricky for the drivers obviously to manoeuvre their way around. And obviously track limits around Russia has always been a factor, and with this game's introduction of track limits, it's really been sort of the nail in the coffin. So let's see if people can get on top of it and see what they can do. As we see Greeny LFC in the Williams, so we will go through the order just shortly of people and drivers and cars. I'm not too sure of the actual car allocation order for this season, but I do believe it will go along the lines of, as Greeny just invalidates his lap already, it will go along the lines of Williams and then closely followed by Haas, and then I believe it will be Alfa Romeo, then it will be Alfa Tauri. Those two will be very, very similar in pace, I imagine. And then I imagine it will be Renault, then McLaren, then Racing Point. I think the Racing Point and McLaren up for debate which one's the fastest out of them two, and then obviously Red Bull, Ferrari, and then Mercedes. I don't know if the Ferrari has been nerfed. I know at the start of the game the Ferrari is obviously better than the Red Bull at this current moment. I imagine it will change, you know, track in and week in and week out, you know, different tracks and stuff like that. But we are seeing the people, you know, get to grips with the wheels of these cars. I remember being in the Haas myself, obviously with a few friends. Actually, some of these guys in the lobby are a few friends of mine that I've been doing some championship with in, obviously, you know, FP allocated cars, so not equal cars, actual, you know, real life performance cars. And the Haas is a boat. I remember I was in the Haas and it is awful to drive. When you get a bit further up, the Alfa Tauri is very nice, very smooth, a bit lacking in power but very nice all the same. Understeer really belongs to the the Alfa Romeo. That's very understeery, but not too bad to get to grips with and get into a rhythm. As we see times come through thick and thin, Ash Best with a 31.1 and Game Freaker with a 32.4. Game Freaker obviously in a better car than Ash Best, but Ash Best is classed as the better and quicker driver. So yeah, very nice from these guys. Very close times already. Ugi Azim tops the table in the Racing Point. Ugi Azim never really been one to suit the Racing Point colours, and I think it really doesn't suit him now. So Ugi Azim is a very nice car in this game. Don't get me wrong, especially from the TV pod sort of view, it's very lovely to really, you know, admire from that sort of point with the black halo, and then you've got the kind of, you know, the bright white that really, you know, the contrast is very nice between the colours. But it's definitely not my favourite car on the grid. We will get to my favourite car maybe later on in the session as we just scroll down to see where people out on track. As BDG Louis, regarded as the pad god, had a bit of a mishap in the evaluation race last time out on Monday. He actually spun on the exit in the pit lane and got disqualified for blocking the pit exit. A very harsh disqualification, but funny nonetheless, as yellow flags are in the middle sector. That is for Ash, who obviously is just getting out of the way of people. So we will go on board with MMA Slash. I think that's the best person to go on board with at the moment. He's on a fairly decent lap. Let's see if he can keep it within the limits. And wow, that is one way to win your quali. I was just about to say he's on a pretty decent lap and he's looked quite solid coming round onto the back straight with the DRS open, and he's clearly lit the rear tyres up on the curve, and that is his qualifying session over. Very disappointing, the Haas driver, who will not get a lap time on the board. So if everybody in this session does get a lap on the board, then we will see Slash be demoted to last place. So very unfortunate. And always the black livery for the Mercedes, so very nice. They've finally updated it, which let's have a look. Oh yeah, a lot better. It's a lot better, isn't it, the black livery? Pardon me, as we will stay on board with Sutty. He takes a very tight line coming into the end of the back straight and now enters the final sector. Very tricky sector, as I said earlier on in the programme. His gear shift ain't too bad. He seems to be losing the rear a lot in that Mercedes. Obviously the Mercedes is very stable, so Sutty really just needs to get to grips with how the Mercedes feels. He needs to open up the track more as well, but he's really trying his best, see if he can set a good lap time. It's quite smooth actually for the final couple of corners, and Sutty P8 with a 34.2. He's going to be very disappointed in himself with a lap time like that. I don't think he will position himself 8th in the actual qualifying when everyone's on the softs, but Sutty nonetheless trying something new, and you know, it's not worked out this time, but credit where credit's due, and he has tried to go faster and it's just not worked out for him so far. I will say hi to people in the chat once I get the stream up on my phone, just trying to get everything sorted and up to date and get everybody, you know, up to date with the leagues and how FP is going to work the season. It's basically the same as every season, obviously just explaining to people that this is an official league race. It's not obviously part of the season because it's pre-season, but it is definitely an official league race. As Louis goes top of the timing sheets with a 1:31.9 in the Williams, just cementing again this man being the pad god, and he's got Greeny LFC also in the Williams with him, who's actually looking very, very smooth in the SS Claire Williams, as I like to call it, an absolute boat. As Green runs out wide just slightly, I think he'd be a bit disappointed. He couldn't really clip the apex coming into the back straight there, but opens DRS nonetheless, and is coming down now through the middle sector, and it is purple for Greeny LFC on the indicator. I've just realised I have mini-map on. I should have full track map. There we go. As you have one of the dirtiest camera angles I've ever seen coming through, but then we have a lovely camera angle as Greeny slightly loses the rear end coming over the curved left-hander, really, you know, undulates downwards on to the start of the right-hander, and then obviously the penultimate corner, quite a tricky corner to really get right. Same with the last corner, you've really got to nail the apex and the exit there, but Greeny LFC will end up going 5th place, which isn't too shabby at all. 0.3 of a second off his teammate Louis, who is regarded as one of the best drivers we have seen on the pad, as I have been saying too much at the start of this stream. So not too bad from Greeny. I think he would like to be beating Ash Best. I know the Williams is a tiny bit slower than the Haas, I believe. I'm not too sure 10th by 10th. Off the top of my head, I think it's about 2 tenths slower. So if he can get that 2 tenths, you know, extra on Ash Best, that would be brilliant for Greeny. We'll see if anybody else is out on track. I think Game Freaker is just about to start his lap in the AlphaTauri, so we will stay on board with him as I actually get the stream up on my phone just to see how it is running. Hopefully it's running fine. I'm probably gonna hear the sound of my own voice. Yeah. What tier is this? GNG Pickle. It's FP, my friend. Comms curse, says Dino. Yeah, too right. I said it, and as soon as I said it, in the wall. So very disappointing from that man right there. As we have 7 viewers viewing, feel free to comment below who you think your top 3 will be in this race so far. I'm not too sure yet. I'll have to see how qualifying pans out before I get my answers in for top 3. But if you stay tuned and obviously see where the drivers are positioning themselves, then it might give a bit of an indication of who's really got the pace here at Russia and who's, you know, lagging a bit behind. But the stream looks good and I can't complain on that front, and the drivers looking very committed and very quick out there, must be said. As we're going to go on board with Praga. He's currently in the Alfa Romeo. Not a bad looking car actually. A lot of the cars this year have been very nice, as he locks at the front right quite drastically there, but really gets the traction good in the final sector. That Alfa Romeo does look quite a nice car to drive around the Russian circuit, not too shabby on the straight line speed either. Gets away with not an invalidation, as Nana Bacon does go pole with a 1:31.2.
So Nana Bacon maybe looking for a relegation there, because that time is a lot faster than I expected. But Praga to the line goes P2 with a 1:31.9. So well done to Praga, who was going to be pole until Nana Bacon set that absolutely outrageous lap time. And I think Nana Bacon in future races, if he carries on, might need to be shifted down. But very impressive from the man in the Red Bull. Nana Bacon really cementing his dominance around the Russian circuit so far. We've got a couple of drivers who haven't set a lap yet. Duo Finn, who's locked his brakes, an absolute treat, going onto the back straight on his lap and completely messed that up. And we've also got Jack Lacey and the other Red Buller, Callum Anderson, out there as well. Callum Anderson, I actually thought would be in a bit of a worse car. I didn't think he was struggling that much with the game. I thought it was actually supposed to be quite quick, but it goes to show how close the competition is, as Jack Lacey will get slipstream, I think, off Nana Bacon, who is slowing down. But Jack's going to use the slipstream anyway in the lovely coloration of yellow and black of the Renault, or however you'd like to pronounce it. It is entirely up to you. Really takes a lot of curb there. Didn't really get on the power that early, Jack, but it's looking very smooth in the final sector as he... Oh yeah, I was going to say it has to be a corner cut. He's turned it a tiny bit too early, and unfortunately for him, that is the end of his lap. He will complete it anyway, so we'll see where the man would have gone. It's going to be a 31.4. Wow, it was going to be an impressive lap for Jack. A 31.4, and it would have put him second place and only 2/10 off a Red Bull. So yeah, very impressive from Jack Lacey in the Renault so far. As we see Callum Anderson having a bit of a twitch of oversteer there, which is very unusual, especially in a car as stable as the Red Bull, but really nails it. Coming now down to the penultimate corner, he's going to keep it in 7th and shift down to 4th, which I'd probably go 3rd just to get the turn in and a bit of extra traction, then shift up early. But very neat and tidy from Callum Anderson, and you can see where it's put him on the leaderboard. A very impressive lap time from that man there. There is only 5 minutes remaining of the session, and I'll try and get on board with as many people as I possibly can as they come across the line. As Greeny LFC looks like he's about to start his lap, but we've already seen Greeny. Louis just starting his lap as well. Is there anybody a bit further down the track? AMS is obviously getting out of the way of people. Nana Bacon is in the pit lane. I think Sam T in the McLaren is the one we want to be watching, with the 1:31.9, as so many drivers have set so far. So Sam looking to obviously best his rivals out there, probably get at least ahead of AMS, I think, considering he is in the better car. If he does that, I think he'll be very proud of himself. But not too shabby so far. 4th place in the McLaren. You know, I always class the pre-season as the debut race for myself, to really get myself in the mindset, in the zone, and really figure out where I can extract the pace of the car. I know it's obviously a different track every week and it can differ in performances, but if you really get your eye in the pre-season, you can really carry that momentum through the rest of the season. And obviously if you struggle in the pre-season, don't take it too bad, because it is only pre-season, but it can obviously hamper maybe the starting few races. You know, that motivation and that, you know, sort of momentum is really, really crucial. Especially in a PSGL season, which is very hard fought like FP. A lot of drivers peeling into the pit lane, wanting their final runs to be later on. Greeny obviously has invalidated his lap. He probably would have finished it, but he's going to opt to come into the pit lane, as I think everybody else will. We're going to go on board with Dino, who is on the medium tyres and on a lap. Not too sure how well Dino is doing so far, but he is going to come around the final corner and he's going to set a 1:32.9, which puts Dino 12th position. Quite far off the other guys actually, but he is on the mediums, which are, you know, the slower tyre. So I think if he could get back to the pits quite promptly and get a set of the soft boots on, then he could actually be up there, you know, even in the top 3. I think that's how much the softs give you around this track. So Dino, don't know if he's left it too late, hopefully not, but he is the only guy out on track at the moment. 3 Gloves opting to go very early on his last run. Only like he's going to come in the pit lane now, trying to fake out a few guys. No, it is his outlap, and he will kick us off for the final runs of FP qualifying here at the Sochi Autodromo Olympic Park. I don't know why there's a massive pause there. It's like I lost my breath halfway through the sentence. But regardless, we will take you on board of a lap of Sochi on board with 3 gloves as he comes down heavy braking zone. 3rd gear I would opt for down into turn 1 and 2. You know, a lot of curbage needed to get yourself prepared for the long left-hander of turn 3. It goes on forever. It's like the Indian Ocean, really dirty, and it goes on forever. Very nice from 3 gloves. Lots up slightly coming into turn 4, but completes the first sector, and it looks very, very clean from 3 gloves. A bit tentative as he nearly runs wide, but no, nails the apex and also nails exit as well. This is a very tricky right-hander. It's actually tighter than you think. 4th gear for 3 gloves I'd opt for as well. He's going to keep it in 6th, shift down to 5th just to get the turn in and the traction on exit. It undulates up, and then you've got kind of a dip down as you enter the back straight of the Sochi Autodromo Olympic Park. As now he'll bomb down GLS wide open. You won't hit the same speeds as you do on the start finish straight, but it's not too far off. 202 miles an hour as 3 gloves really locks the front right, but it looks purple for 3 gloves so far. Very, very, very clean from 3 gloves as he enters the last sector. He's not put a foot wrong so far. Don't turn in too early. He looks like he's nailed it. A bit hesitant on the throttle though and on traction, but it's, you know, it's better to get the lap in and to set a good lap than to fail with an invalidation. It's been very good from 3 gloves. This could be pole position. He's going to cross the line, and it's a 32.6, nowhere near pole. Lordy, what you on about? Not a very good lap from 3 gloves, unfortunately. Also 3 gloves, the man in F4 last season on 2019. I was winning the race, battling him very hard in the French Grand Prix, and he actually took me out. Completely locked his brakes. He apologised, obviously, fair man, and obviously it's in the past now, but he locked his brakes into turn 1 at the French Grand Prix and completely wiped me out, and that would have been my first win in PSGL F4. But I settled for a 3rd place in the end, which was a bit sad for me, but you know, 3 gloves did apologise and I believe retired at the end of the race. I think he got a penalty obviously for the next race also, but it was very sportsmanlike from him and quite unexpected because he is normally a very clean driver. Anyway, I think Ugi Azim, Nano Bacon retires from the session. Didn't really get to grips with the lap, so Ugi Azim will be the first man to cross the line out of these guys, and I think that's Callboy next. TTT to TTG. Too many T's, too many G's. TTG Callboy, also known as Shern as Ugi Azim. Very harsh invalidation I've just seen in the first sector, so we will go on board with Callboy, who's actually got some traffic ahead of him in Jack Lacey. Jack Lacey clearly messing up his lap and obviously not had enough time to get out there, and impedes the racing point as Joe Callboy has completely lost the rear end and careered into the barrier. So we will go off Callboy and on to Greeny LFC, who's looking very sharp. We'll just scan down the field. Is Greeny the first one out? Dino's on his out lap. Dino's not obviously going to get round. Sutty trying to complete his lap. Duo Finn all over them curbs. Duo Finn, the man who always runs no assists on every single game and who always seems to be in the Mercedes. I've had the privilege of racing Duo Finn back in the day, in the days of 14 and 15, and he has been my teammate on occasions where he had some serious pace back in the day. But is he going to put it anywhere near the top step? Duo Finn will cross the line. It's going to be a 33.2 for Duo Finn, which puts him 14th place. Not too bad for Duo Finn. AMS has obviously lost it. We've got Sam T who's obviously invalidated, and the likes of Praga, who is still on a lap. Where's Callum Anderson? Further down the straight, we're going to see where Louis is. Ugi obviously finishing, but here comes Louis Welch. He's 4/10 up on his time. Well, that will put him a net 3rd place if he can keep it on the track. Here comes Louis Welch across the line, and it's 3rd place for Louis Welch. That's a stunning lap time in the Williams. Greeny LFC crosses the line, doesn't improve. Ash Best will cross the line and improve slightly as Game Freaker goes 5th, but all eyes look to be on Praga. And as Praga now is in the final sector, will be the only person to challenge any of the top guys, but I think the Red Bulls are in a league of their own so far as Callum Anderson improves even more. Get that man out of a Red Bull as Praga goes 6th place, so not too bad from him. And I think Dino, he is up on his lap. He is going to finish it. So where can Dino position? He's 5/10 up on his lap, so at the moment Dino will be jumping 3 gloves. At the moment Dino will be jumping 3 gloves. He needs to gain a lot more time in this final sector. He's got the car and he's got the grip. He's just got to have the confidence as well, and oh no, it's gone horribly wrong for Dino. Turned in about 4 times for that corner, for the downhill right-hander, and in an ultimate corner he's still giving it his all. I'm surprised that wasn't invalidated as he comes across the line now, and I think he's beat Greeny LFC. He gained, even though he messed up the turn, he's gained a lot of time, and it's 10th for Dino. Don't know if he wanted to be there or not, but 10th position for Dino. He's not too bad considering the lap didn't look as clean as it could have been. Didn't mean to rhyme. Did not mean for that to rhyme. But here's your grid anyway for the start of the pre-season here at Russia. It's Callum Anderson with an absolute dominant showing. Don't know why he's in a Red Bull. But then again, this is what pre-season's for, to really see the allocations and people's pace. I think Callum will be getting a hefty relegation for the upcoming races, as we see him take pole position here from the likes of Nana Bacon in second, Louis third, fourth AMS, fifth Game Freaker, sixth Praga, seventh Sam T, eighth Uyazim, ninth Ash Best, and rounding off your top 10 is Dino in the Ferrari. So not a bad qualifying session. Top 10 separated by 1.5 seconds. Not really what you want to see. FP is obviously an opportunity for the guys to be closer on the grid, but when you've got such talents as Callum Anderson in the Red Bull on the grid, you know, it's hard task for people to be beating him anyway. So we go back onto the stream just to see if there's been anything more to be said. It's Alimonda evening. Good evening to you, sir. Who picked Russia, Lordy? Apparently it's Greeny and AMS's decision. They are the admins. So I believe they have taken the executive decision to allocate Russia as the pre-season. Toby, you know it's game when Callum is on P1. Yeah, I do agree, Toby. Callum on P1. It's not a very rare sight, to be fair. I've not seen a lot of Callum Anderson P1s in my time. So it's nice to see a bit of a change up front. 6 or 5 tenths, I think it was. So a bit too much for my liking. I would like to be about a tenth between at least the top 3. But you can't always have your way. You know, in real life, Hamilton's beating the rest of the grid by 5 tenths per lap in qualifying. So yeah, sometimes you've just got to bite the bullet, and hopefully the race will provide us with more entertainment. Just getting everything ready. Obviously the tyre allocations you can see on the left hand side of your screen. Greeny, Stuo Finn and Slash will be the guys starting on the medium compound tyres. Everybody else will be on the soft. Obviously Slash was the only driver to not complete qualifying. He crashed out early in the session, I believe on the 12th minute, with a spin in the middle sector coming onto the back straight. Hit the wall in the Haas, so he's got a lot to do from all the way down there, battling Sutty and Duo Finn and the likes of, you know, 3 gloves and Greeny on a set of mediums, which is going to be a boat. You know, mediums with Greeny and a Williams, it's gonna be difficult to get past that. But let's see what people can do. It is the first race of the season. Hello, Machine Fishy. Nice evening. Nice to see you here. And Drebe with some really dirty eyeballs. I don't know what you're looking at. That is disgusting. I don't want that in my DMs. Get that out. Disgusting emoji. But as you can see, this is what the predicted pit stop strategy will be. One stop, either soft, medium. Callum actually loses it on the formation lap. Really trying to heat them softs up a treat. Probably heated them a bit too much and probably got a lot of wear on the rears of them softs now, so that could lead Nana Bacon to be taking the lead down to turn 1. BG Louis, I would say he's going to be taking the lead into turn 1 with the slipstream and obviously ERS deployment, but Louis is in a Williams and that has a lot of drag, so that's not going to be that good down the straight. And the Renault isn't brilliant either, so he's not got a lot of powerful cars to contest the Red Bulls going down into turn 1 and 2. But let's see what these guys can offer us. We've got 17 drivers on the grid. It's a Tuesday night, and no Mr. Tuesday night in Giuliano Manu. There are a few drivers missing. Lickle Blocks, Bugatti and Giuliano Manu I think should be taking up the reins of this session as well in the allocated cars. But enough about them. It's about to be the start of the Russian Grand Prix. One of the easiest stops according to Alimunda as the lights go out now. Here in Russia, lights out and away we go. As Crofty would say, every single race the fathead. As we're going to see the likes of Louis Welch challenging both Red Bulls. Oh, there's a massive crash. Absolutely horrific. I don't know what's happened there. We've got Ugi Azim. Of course it's Ugi Azim. It's always Ugi Azim down to turn 1. And there's blockages all over the place. And there's a safety car already. A safety car deployed. 5-second penalties for Ash Press for collisions. Not quite sure what's happened to drivers. I can't believe what's happened off the start. Ugi Azim always causes a collision, always in FP. He did it with me at Australia last season on the last game, and he did it the season before, I think in China as well, and Bahrain. Ugi Azim always causes an incident here in FP. I'm not too sure if it is his fault, so I will not pin the blame on Ugi Azim, even though I have said that he's always involved in an incident. There we go, that's a bit better phrasing for Ugi there. But we're just going to scan through the field and just see. Obviously the people on mediums, I imagine, will stay on the mediums. I think if I'm one of these soft runners, I think I'm going medium. I'm getting off these softs in the safety car period, and I'm going medium. I think that is the strategy for me. Just going to see what's happening down the field. I think Jack Lacey doesn't have a front wing, and Ugi Azim doesn't have a front wing. Obviously the safety car has been deployed, so these drivers have been saved. I'm not too sure how that racing point is still intact after doing about 7 pirouettes going down the straight. We didn't even make it to turn 1 before stuff is happening. As AMS has pardon me, what has happened to AMS? Has he got a wing? Has he got a front wing? I'm not too sure. I can't see a front wing on that Renault. The camera angle I've been given as well isn't very good. He has got a front wing, AMS, and for whatever reason he's spinning himself around, which is very unusual. Obviously the director of the site, yeah, as we do see cars peeling into the pit lane, double stacking, triple stacking, if there was multiple teammates, I imagine. Just get in the pit lane, get these soft tyres off. I think that is the call that drivers need to be making. We've got comments coming flooding through, obviously about the carnage that happened at turn 1. Sorry for raising my voice so high. It was I was really struggling to keep up with it, and Slash has been held in the pit lane by his teammate, and Ugi obviously been held and got a front wing change, and you know, it's really gone wrong for that man. Ugi's even will be at the back of the grid on a set of medium compound tyres, and the core boys opted for another set of softs, which is reasonable, I guess, as I've just seen the Williams up front. He's got first place as Louis Welch, as Louis actually been relegated down to 15th. Where is Louis? Okay, so Louis is 15th place. I thought he was first. I was going to say, oh bloody hell, that is a miracle for Louis Welch. No, but Louis is going to go hards to the end, which isn't actually a bad shout from Louis. I don't think it's the smartest decision, considering you're in the worst car. But if he can keep with these guys and keep consistent pace, he will not have to stop again. But he's going to have the likes of Callum Anderson and obviously Nano Bacon and people like Praga doing 2 stops and on fresh sets of mediums and softs. They're going to be very, very quick. But Louis is a man for bold strategies, and he wants to take these hards to the end, which is very comfortable. You can take the hards to the end. It is a very doable strategy, and Louis feels like he can do it. So props to Louis. You don't knock it till it fails. Do I think it will succeed? I think it's 50-50. It really depends on Louis' pace. If Louis can keep with the guys in the mid-pack, I think mid-pack pace is what you want. Roughly around, I'd say, Greeny's pace. If he can keep within Greeny's pace, then I think he's got a good chance of winning this race in the hard compound tyres. If he hasn't, though, if he hasn't got that sort of pace in the bag, especially on these hards, they are going to be very tricky to manage around here. You know, there's a reason the strategy is soft medium around here, and it's because this track, you know, there's no tyre wear really. You know, it's not the most high speed track on the calendar. It's not slow by any means, but I think Louis and who else has put hards on? I think Ash Best and Slash, they both put hards on as well. So the top guys in the slower cars seem to think that the hards is the best strategy to go. Obviously they will have each other for company, so that'll be an interesting fight for the lead, and let's just see how the strategies play out. It's nice to see a mix of strategies. It's what I've missed in F1 for a long time. You know, the two-stop strategy, the one-stop strategy, different tyre compounds. We want to see the comparison, we want to see the driver's skill level, and we want to see what ideas they've got in the brain of theirs. We've got comments coming through, and I will read the chat. If you give me 1 second. Disaster for Renault on lap 1. Hards could probably do 2 50% races, to be fair. Traditionally an awful tyre, Russia. So these aren't equal performance. No, Hector, these are not equal performance. These are, it's called FP, so Formula Performance, which obviously stands for performance cars. So equal cars do not exist in FP. They are, you know, based on real life, where the Codemasters obviously alters that. You know, I don't think the game's as accurate as real life, but it is supposed to be a sort of representation of the real life cars. So obviously, if you see the faster drivers, they're normally in the slower cars. So the people in the Williams, the Alphas, and the Haas, they're normally the top tier drivers in PSGL. And then obviously you've got the slower guys in slower leagues. They're normally in the, you know, the Red Bulls and the McLarens and the Mercedes and all sorts. So yeah, it kind of goes in order. It's supposed to be in order. Obviously, it's a bit difficult because people are better at different tracks and people are more competitive at other tracks, so it is very difficult to manage. But here we are. It's been a hectic first 3 laps here at Russia. I can barely talk as the safety car is coming in this lap, so we will go on board with the leaders for a second. In a second, we will do it actually now, and I'm going to have a sip of my coffee to really re-energise. I want to see when Nano Bacon bolts, because he's not the most experienced of drivers when it comes to doing this. We will see. Venom's really backing him up. Really backing him up. And I think Venom's bowled. Not Venom. Sorry, I've just read Venom in the chat. Nano Bacon's bowled, but he's lost it. Nano Bacon's lost it. Coming onto the straight, and he's got dirt on his tyres. Let's see if there's any manoeuvres that are going to be happening for the lead. We're going to look back to Game Freaker, who is under pressure from the Alfa Romeo of Praga. Callum will sit behind his teammate, and Praga will also sit behind the AlphaTauri as Game Freaker runs wide, but it looks like the 2 Red Bulls are running away with it once again. As you just scan through the field now, we're seeing battles left, right and centre after the safety car, and it's very difficult to maintain, you know, to get back up to speed, from obviously a safety car restart. We've got a 3-second gap back to Ugi Azim, so I'm not too sure what's happened there. We're just going to scan back. Ugi, Jack Lacey and Slash have all had an incident, I think, and Slash has lost it. Ugi is all over the place with his bad internet, and BDG Louis and Ash Best look to be your race leaders, or net race leaders, I imagine, when everybody comes into the pit lane. So this is going to be very feisty as we see the Ferrari around the outside of Dino and Duo Finn. Look at that. That is fantastic driving. We've also got Louis Welch getting in on the action, but he's going to have no straight line speed compared to the Mercedes. Is Duo willing to keep it in? And I think Duo has snuck ahead, but will Louis go down the inside? No, Duo covers it off very smartly, but locks his brakes, and Louis is aware to that. Can Louis do the switchback? He's going to go around the outside. BDG Louis really looking feisty on these hard tyres. They're still neck and neck. Oh my God. Fantastic racing from these guys. Absolutely fantastic racing from these guys, and Duo has to concede the position in the end, but BDG Louis really feisty on these hard tyres, which is what you like to see. There's already a 1.3 second gap with the cars ahead, so the Red Bulls are going to run away with it. That's what they need to do though, run away as far and as fast as they can, as we see a McLaren challenging down the straight. Both McLarens challenging down the straight. I think Sam is getting past, and 3 Gloves is getting past as well, but oh, looks like a switchback from TG Corboy. Oh, sorry, Shane. Shane. It's his real name, Shane. So if you hear me say Shane, it's a homage to his real name. TG Corboy having to concede the position to the McLaren, but doing a fantastic job so far. Greeny on the mediums, looking a bit shaky, must be said, but not doing a shabby job. As we see AMS struggling, and it looks like Sutty's going to go down the inside. There's going to be contact surely, and Sutty's round. Sutty's in the wall. Oh, it's always going to be tight when you're going for a move there. As we see Ugi Azim also getting passed by Jack Lazy, who runs off the track. But a move is a move. There is yellow flags in Sector 2, and it looks like the end of Sutty's evening, unfortunately, in the Mercedes. Very risky plays. I don't really see what AMS could have done. Maybe AMS could have given a bit more room there, but I don't know. It's a hard one. I'll let the stewards decide that. I know it is only a pre-season. We'll go back to AMS. I think he is he's putting on the pressure. on Greeny LFC. So Greeny really falling away on these medium tyres. Not a smart play for that man right there. See yellow flags in sector, or is it Duo Finn? Duo Finn has had an off. So Duo Finn, as he damaged his wing, he has damaged his wing, and Sutty is right behind him. So the Mercedes trio having an absolutely dreadful afternoon. And they are at the back of the grid. Coreboy, I don't think he'll have anything to say. AMS, not close enough either. Nobody really close enough. We're seeing obviously gaps form. And one of the biggest gaps, which is going to really cost him, is Ash Best. He's lost time to Louis in the Williams, and they are both on the same strategy. So Ash has really got some catching up to do. Really not finding the pace on these hards, as we see AMS really close up to the back of Greeny LFC now. I think we'll stay on board with this battle. The Red Bull boys seem to be doing their utmost hardest to just stay within the DRS of each other. There are gaps forming all over the place. I think Coreboy and Three Gloves will be the closest. Sorry, Coreboy, Sam and Three Gloves will be the closest battle other than this one. I think AMS will take to the inside. I think it's going to be a very easy move for AMS. I don't think Greeny will try and stick it, but he is. Greeny's going to try and stick it. The two directors, the two admins of the league, and that is actually quite an impressive move from AMS, but you've not got a lot of grip on the outside. There is Dino, who's actually going to sneak up the inside as well. AMS completely cuts the corner. It's going to be three in a bed, and Greeny FC's round, and it's Dino once again. Dino and Greeny come to blows, and I think Greeny reset the track there, so not too sure what their stewards want to say about that. I know it's only a pre-season, but Dino and Greeny always come to blows. AMS tried to make it three in a bed, and Greeny is the unfortunate participant in that. I can imagine the Filey's finest is fuming, as AMS is now going to take, sorry, Jack Lacey is now going to take, as Louis going for a move as well on AMS. Louis down the inside, fantastic move. Sorry, you have to switch there. Back to Louis. I think AMS has got the inside line on Louis as well. These camera angles are a bit crap. Sorry to say, these camera angles are a bit crap. So 1 minute they're alright, and next minute they're showing the rear end of a car that you can't see. So yeah, very poor from Codemasters again on the visual aspect. This is quite a nice camera though, on the sweeping right-hander. Yeah, Ali Munda, 3 wide in that sector. Yeah, you got to have your racing brain on, Ali Munda, and unfortunately some of these drivers have got a Capri Sun in hand and are having a bit of a relaxed time more than a serious time, which is fair enough. It is only pre-season, but you can't be doing that in the actual races, or you will be costing not just yourself but others points around you, and I think you'll be seeing yourself in the stewards a lot if you're pulling stunts like that. But very naive from a director. I think AMS really unnecessary. He obviously saw Dino and Dino and Greeny, and he decided to plant his car there. So I don't know, just stay out of the wars. I think for AMS, just try and get some clean races under his belt. He has come under fire recently as he picks up a 3-second time penalty of me actually mentioning his name. He has been obviously, under fire and scrutiny, especially at the end of last game. Not really committed as much, and I do understand, life does come before F1. Don't trust me, I know that all too well. But just get a few clean races under your belt. I think that's what you need, just to get that momentum, get that rhythm going, and keep yourself out of the spotlight. Because obviously, if you see incidents like this all the time, it's not good for your reputation. As Dino can't find the downforce to really go down there, so we've got Ugi Azim round again. And that man has come back to Formula 1, and it's not been the best of welcomes. I don't know who or what has challenged him, but Ugi Azim has fallen victim to another spin. As Jack Lacey closer to the back of this. So Jack Lacey's got some serious pace. After having the mishap earlier in the race and having a few tangles after the safety car restart, who completely cuts the corner and gets the 3-second time penalty. So does Dino as well. But he's also got some serious pace on these mediums. So Jack Lacey also one to watch out for. But VG Louis definitely looks the favourite so far. If he can keep in the DRS, he is just slipping back a bit, but he will gain it down the straight. If he can keep at this pace, I think he's definitely on for the race win. Oh, pardon me. It's a very relaxed time here in we'll just go on board with the front runners actually, just to see. As Callum Anderson commentator's curse once again. As soon as I'm going on board with him, he's nearly lost it going into the first into the final corner. Well, I couldn't get my words out there. We'll see on the DRS straight now, and we'll catch back up to Nano, and I imagine we'll just sit behind Nano as long as possible and keep his ERS charged up. So yeah, Callum doing everything right really. I think Callum has got more pace than Nano Bacon, so we might want to get past him sooner rather than later, but yeah, doing fine. Praga also doing fine. We will actually change from the stops to tyres just to see what people are on, just to give the viewers a bit of an indication, as AMS is on the back of Jack Lacey. These two have obviously swapped positions. The medium tyres probably coming into their own now. I imagine the softs are hitting a breaking point as AMS picks up another time penalty. So we see a battle ensue just a bit further behind. It's Greeny LFC and Ash Best. So Greeny going up the inside of Ash. Will Ash do the undercut? Oh, Greeny loses it and swipes into Ash. Ash has the inside line, and it's very, very aggressive, and that is a corner cut, and that is probably exceeding track limits. So those two are really exchanging blows of corner cuts and track limits, trying to stay neck and neck with each other. Greeny not very happy with that move. You got to be careful. He is the admin. I'm not saying treat him any different. He looked like he brake checked him there. It looked like he brake checked Greeny going into that corner. Not really sure what's going on. Ash, be careful, as Greeny's going to take obviously DRS and the inside line, which actually becomes the outside line, going into the last sector. Yeah, Ash just got to be careful there. I don't know if he did. I'm not trying to say he did, but it looked from my screen that he did brake test Greeny then. You know, he just let off the throttle and applied a bit of brake, you know, as we were exiting the corner, and luckily for Greeny there was no damage. So yeah, very, very good. Very, very good and very, very clean that they can continue battling. We've also on board them actually. Also see drivers in for pit stops. So this is crucial. I imagine everyone will be fitting the medium. I don't think the hard is the way to go. Pardon me. As Greeny will take to the inside line, and Ash should swoop past him. Around the outside, yeah, very, very nice and very, very clean. Pardon me. So we are seeing as Dino is on the soft. Dino's doing actually a fantastic job in the Ferrari. I haven't really mentioned much about Dino. He's been a bit in no man's land. I think he's with Louis so far. Did have the alteration with Greeny earlier in the race, but it's not really Dino's fault. I think more AMS's for making it 3 wide. But yeah, Dino doing a banging job. If he can just maybe get a bit more pace. Greeny, oh, that's a massive tank slapper on there, and that's not what you want to be doing, especially on these medium tyres. You know, Greeny all the while costing himself time more so than costing Ash Best time, because Ash Best is going to the end of the race. As soon as Greeny's out of the way, Ash has got clear air to do whatever he likes. So Greeny really wants to get past him, and I think needs to get a move on, but obviously the DRS is so powerful here, it's very difficult. As obviously there has been a change for the lead. Callum Anderson will be taking the first pit stop, which I think is brilliant from Callum. Very well managed to get the first pit stop under the belt to get these fresh tyres on, and obviously showing that he's got the pace as Greeny loses it, and everybody in front of him has not pitted. The pit window is open, so these drivers have been pitting a bit early onto these tyres. Greeny really not got a lot of ERS left, whereas Ash Best has 52, so Greeny really wants the position. You know, he drives with his heart more than his head sometimes, and that has pushed Ash Best wide and actually giving him a penalty. Ash will take the inside line for this corner. Greeny's going to squeeze him as close to the curb as he can, but Greeny's going to have the racing line coming into the right-hander. So let's see, as Game Freak has retired from the race, so Game Freaker is out, and there is a safety car once again. So people who have just pitted have been absolutely mauled. So I think Callum Anderson's pitted, hasn't he? Yeah, Callum Anderson's Callum Anderson's taken charge of the race, and obviously his teammates are 100% going to come out ahead of him now. Oh wow, oh wow. Game Freak, I'm not too sure what happened to him. He's just pitted onto the medium, so has he lost it on cold mediums and just careered into the barrier? I'm not too sure. We will go on board with Sutty, who must be loving this. Yeah, I think pit window open for the medium tyres. He is going to go on the medium, Sutty, and he definitely can take them to the end of the race. I just want to see where Game Freaker's car is. Did he spin out of the pit lane? It would be very embarrassing if he did. We will stay on board with Sutty just to see where that is. As the internet quality does seem to be going down, according to me, which is very unusual. Not really no problems on my end for whatever reason. Just going to see, was it down into turn 1? We will turn off YouTube just to make sure. Not too sure where it is. Dino, sorry, Sutsi has got past Game Freaker, so it is at turn 1 and 2. As you see, everybody in the pit lane, and Louis, his strategy unfortunately hasn't worked, and will drop down the field now significantly. We want to see where Callum comes out. I think Callum's the main one. Will he come out ahead of these guys? I don't think he'll come out ahead of his teammate. No, he won't. He's actually lost the position to Three Gloves. So Three Gloves, who's got very, very lucky indeed, he's now positioned himself in second place. So Callum Anderson's got it all to do. Corboy as well, very lucky. And Louis obviously losing out after doing a fantastic job on the hard tyres. So it's an even playing field. Dino seems to have lost out to Louis in the pit stops as well. So Williams doing a very good job of undercutting the Williams in the pit stops, and just seeing what people are on. Greeny, apparently he's on 11 lap old softs, which is not right because he's been on mediums for all that time. So Greeny has opted for the softs, which is very interesting. I think so I think Greeny wants the 2 stop. Obviously I know he was on the mediums and he didn't pit in the first safety car, so he can't go mediums again because obviously he'd get disqualified at the end of the race. But surely going on to the medium, surely going to the hards would have been the better strategy. I don't think you're going to gain the time on the softs. You've got to pray for another safety car, as Duo I think's on the softs as well. So I'm really unsure what Duo's done, and why is Duo on the softs? You can take the mediums to the end of the race, especially with the safety car being out for the next couple of laps. So yeah, very strange. Obviously everybody should be on 1 lap old or 0 lap old tyres. It says 11 and 12 for Corboy and Greeny. Obviously that is wrong, so do not for whatever minute think that they've been on them tyres for that long. I'll try and remember and keep you updated, just to obviously clarify that these guys have got fresh tyres on, they have not running on rims. But yeah, the safety car definitely won't be in this lap, it's only been out for 1 lap, but it is going to allow Sutty and Juopin to catch back up. Very pleased for them, especially Sutty after the collision with AMS earlier. AMS and collision seem to go quite well together around Russia. He's been involved in a lot of incidents, so he needs to just keep his nose clean, doesn't he, AMS? Like I said earlier, just stay out of trouble. If you can have a clean race from now on, that'll be perfect for him. Just get a few laps under your belt, get a clean result, because there is this looming cloud, especially being the director as well. You don't want that looming cloud over your head. But yeah, Sutty should catch back up. The safety car isn't really going too quickly. Duopin is on the back, and he's got basically an entire lap to try and catch back up, and he's nearly on the start finish straight. So it's good to see these guys back in contention. Obviously it's not very good to see Slash and Ash Best this far down. I thought Ash did a pretty okay job on them hard tyres. Obviously Ugi Azim, he's really been in the wars as well, and he's somehow in 12th place. Where's Jack Lacey as well? He's been in the wars. He's next to Greeny in 8th, so not too bad from Jack. Not too bad, but not brilliant. I'm not really sure how many safety cars are allocated to a Grand Prix on the game. I know in real life it is just as many as you like. I don't know how many it is on the game, on this game anyway. So hopefully we won't see any more. I'm not really in the mood to see any more safety cars. I want it to just get underway so everybody can get back up to position, get some fresh tyres on, and we can push and see, you know, who's really got the pace around here. Progher off sector. Hello Reed. Knowing Duo, he'll get those softs to the end. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that Duo can get them to the end. I just don't think that they're going to be the optimal strategy. You know, the softs go back 10 laps before they really die, and then you've got about 2 laps before they are off the cliff. So, you know, can he take them to the end? Yes. Is that the correct decision? In my opinion, no. The mediums are a very capable tyre and look to be the best race tyre. As I think the safety car is coming in this lap, and Nano Bacon will take us through once again. I think Callum Anderson is the man to beat. He has had the pace all race long and has been kind of shafted by the safety car, but not too much though, so we should dispatch probably 3 gloves at this straight. But I think Nanobacon's going to go very early, and he has. Nanobacon's caught 3 gloves napping. Very good safety car restart from Nanobacon. What is that camera angle? That is rubbish. What was that? As you see yellow flags in sector 3, who's round? It's Cowboy. TCG Cowboy is round the safety car restart. That is rubbish to see. Oh, really, the cream of the crop as Sutty is back down. See any battles going into turn 1? Not really, as Sam's off the track. We'll actually stay on board with this because Green is going to go around the outside of Sam. Is he going to make it? Oh, 3 in the bed, 3 in the bed. 3 in the bed, Greeny LFC. It's going to be 2 in 1 for Greeny LFC. AMS has been mugged in contact again. I think that's Jack Lacey, not AMS. Yeah, it is Jack Lacey. Sorry, AMS. It is Jack Lacey that made contact. But Greeny LFC, what a fantastic overtake from that far back. Really taking his chances on these soft tyres. He knows he's got to push as hard as he can. Can Greeny take the soft tyres to the end? That's going to be a hard ordeal for him. He's got Dino ahead of him, who has already had a collision with himself so far. So let's see how far Greeny can take these tyres, as Callum Anderson is all over 3 gloves, who has no pace in that McLaren whatsoever. And yeah, Callum, oh, he's going to look at the grip compared to 3 gloves there. Is 3 gloves going to keep it on the inside? No, 3 gloves just lets him go. So yeah, whether there's an issue with 3 gloves in the cockpit, I'm not too sure, but that's a very timid defence from 3 gloves, and Callum Anderson's already going to pull the gap. And now 3 gloves is going to be under attack from Louis Welch. So Louis Welch in the Williams is going to get podiums. This is yellow flags in sector 3. Who is round in sector 3? There is yellow flags. Who is it? Who is it? I'm not too sure. Who is it? I don't think it's anybody. No, nobody. Not too sure it was. I don't think it was anyone. We're going to scan through the field a bit abruptly, and we're going to go on board with Dino's. Yellow flag in sector 3 again, as Cowboy actually retires from the race, which I think is the right decision, considering he spun under the safety car restart. Final sector. Game I'm really loving the FP action. I don't blame him. It's been quite an interesting race. Not a lot of action to really, you know, get our teeth into, but when we have had some action, it has been very, you know, very a lot of quality on show tonight with some of these overtakes. Shame with some of the incidents we've seen, but it's been a lot cleaner than a lot of FP races I've seen. So it's very good standard of driving, has to be said. And I think the directors and the admins will be very happy, as I think Louis may come under attack. Nah, a bit too far behind from Dino, but he is looking feisty, so Dino could be on the podium here. It is going to be a fight for 3rd place, I think. I think Dino, Louis, is Greeny within a shout? Greeny could, he is on the softs. I think Greeny will die towards the end, he just needs that 1 second, so if he can gain the 2 tenths in the final sector, which is going to be very difficult. I know he's on the softs, but he is in a Williams as Dino cuts the corner. Is that going to allow Greeny to get in that 1 second gap? He's nearly there, but always lost a 10th. But no, he's getting the 10th back again. We'll see. Does Greeny get it? No, he doesn't. It's very unfortunate for Greeny that he's not got it this lap, but he's got a lot of errs at disposal, so he will be able to get it. As 3 gloves, hopefully, will drop out of DRS, which I think he will, and Louis can get back in the DRS. I think Louis is definitely capable in these mediums to get back in the DRS. He just needs a very comfortable lap under his belt. As we see Oogie, see him dropping down the field again. I think Oogie has spun. Yeah, Oogie ran again. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to commentate on it. It's not worth my time. I think Louis needs to get a bit more errs going. So he can catch 3 gloves. I think he knows he has gained 10th 3 gloves. He's had a miserable middle sector as the penalties come through left, right and centre. So I'm just going to have the last bit of my coffee. Just enjoy it anyway, as Jack Lacey looks like he's going to be challenging the McLaren down this straight. Sam T not having the DRS, and that Renault looks poor down the straight. But will he have a go? Here he is, Jack Lacey. No. Oh, very low on the brakes compared to the McLaren though. Really got sucked into the gearbox. Did Jack Lacey? He might have moved down the inside. Oh, he's braking a bit late as well. I think Jack really wants to dispose of the McLaren ahead of him. That's a good line through there. Really getting the traction I'm not too sure how he's going to fare down the straight. Three Gloves obviously lost DRS, the Red Bulls ahead, and Callum actually not gaining that much on Nano, so Nano really controlling the race, saving his tyres a treat, so very well played from Nano so far. I think Praga's behind this battle as well, so Praga will be looking to get up in positions also. I think Sutty's going to have a go as well on Duo Finn. So they're actually going to go neck and neck into turn 1 and 2, and oh, Sutty has to turn out the corner. I imagine Duo actually got a bit of a penalty for that, but the two Mercedes boys really scrapping away as well. Sutty, I think, has been definitely the better of the two drivers this evening. I always say this weekend because of F1's on the weekend and all that. But yeah, on this evening, and I think he really wants to show Duo that, you know, he needs to move. The two Hasses in the mud, AMS in the mud, and I think everybody else above that's had a pretty solid weekend. I think only them three drivers will be a bit disappointed with their performance. AMS definitely could produce a lot more in that Renault, and the two Hasses have been, no, I will say they have been mugged off by the safety car. I do agree with that, but at the end of the day you can also bring it back. Jack Lacey looks to have a very, very good run as Sam takes to the inside line. We're gonna, it's a rubbish camera angle, really rubbish. But we're going to see Sam fight back around the outside. Jack leaves him enough room. That's very good aggressive driving from Jack Lacey. Very, very impressive. But he's going to be a sitting duck on the straight as Dino has actually dropped off the back of Louis Welch and will be under attack from Greeny. So Greeny really showing that these softs have got something to give as Slash has retired from the race. Hopefully that will not be another safety car, because I don't think... Oh dear. Wow. I don't even know what to say. No words can speak my disappointment. It was really heating up to be a very good climactic ending, and the safety cars kind of pooed all over it again. Oh dear. Obviously I imagine it is a safety car incident. Slash, I think he's actually lost it on the same bit that he did in quali. No, he didn't actually, it was in the last sector. Ignore me. But yeah, Slash has had a miserable afternoon. It's been compounded even more by his retirement at the end of the race. Suki Azim, 14th place, and he's going to be back in it again. Yeah, so these drivers hopefully can get their act together. There should be no pit stops. I should not see anybody in the pit lane. I don't even think the soft runners should be in the pit lane. I think the soft runners can really save the tyres now, and it's going to be a comfortable to the end for these guys. Yeah, really, really sort of conserving these soft tyres. Nobody should be in the pit lane. If I see people in the pit lane, I'm going to be throwing hands. Right, I know these guys are going slow, and you're probably tyres, but it is not worth it. So if you are watching the stream and you don't want to be caught up, hear my word. Do not pit. If you pit, you are just, pardon me, you are really just ending yourself here. And I think Callum Anderson's going to pit. Why? Why? You've ruined... Why is he pitting? So Callum Anderson, the fastest man all evening, is pitting. It's... Why are these guys pitting? Do they know something I don't? I genuinely think that is the stupidest decision I've ever seen. I cannot believe it. What do the comments have to say? Gaming Alimundo, if you've got any expertise, care to share them, because everybody has pitted. Well, a lot of these guys have pitted for a set of softs, and Duo Finn is going to be the man to to block everybody else off. So, to be honest, my crash was a safety car incident. Whoop verest. Whoop whoop. How you doing, Game Freaker? Are you alright? It's been a while. It's been a while. We haven't spoken in a while. I haven't been on the track in a while. And I thought you were going to grace us with a lovely win tonight, but unfortunately the stars haven't aligned for you, and you crashed out. But nice to see you in the comments. I don't really know what to say. Duo is going to have an awful time, because everybody behind him has pitted for fresh softs. I think if Callum doesn't pit, nobody else pits in that scenario. I think because Callum's pitted, it's concertinaed. Callum pitting is baffling, to say the least, because Nano's going to have plenty of pace left in them mediums, and he's going to bolt. It's all in Nano's hands now. Nano just has to take off. I don't see a scenario where Nano's going to mess this up. Even surprising to see, you know, the likes of Louis. Louis isn't going to be able to compete with Callum on raw pace. He just isn't. Like, that is just a fact. So why has Louis subjected himself to be behind Callum and other drivers, even though he isn't a fresh set? He's going to be under pressure from these guys behind in better cars as well. So it seems a very interesting decision, to say the least, from Louis. Obviously, Louis trying to bait people into going into the pit lane, not going to work, considering everybody has boxed behind you for a set of softs. But yeah, very, very weird decision in my head. Yeah, Alimundo. Duo is going to get bummed. I don't Duo, the poor guy, he's trying to take his softs to the end, which I think is the correct decision. Everybody behind him just goes, you know what, I'm pitting. And Duo now is in a position where he's going to really, really struggle keeping these guys. These guys have fresh soft tyres. They've probably been quicker than him throughout the evening, and he is going to be the cork in the bottle. The cork in the champagne bottle. And as soon as people get past him, that is it. Champagne everywhere. Shoeies for everyone. But I think the shoey definitely is going to go to Nano Bacon. I cannot see a scenario where Nano Bacon doesn't win this race. Only unless he crashes himself. There's too many cars, and the caliber of driver as well between Callum and, you know, Nano is very, very good. You've got Ash Best, Greeny LFC, Jack Lacey. These drivers aren't pushovers. They will fight for position, especially Greeny. And Jack isn't, you know, Jack's a very aggressive driver as well. So, but to be fair, they're all aggressive drivers. Even Ash is a bit dirty, borderline dirty at times as well. A bit rich coming from me, I know. No, I'm joking, I'm not a dirt driver. But yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for Callum, and I can't see him being able to push through the field. Same with Louis. I think Louis is going to be dropping backwards instead of going forwards. But hey ho, we'll see. It's happened now, and we will see what the outcome will be. The safety car has to be in this lap. If it goes any, yeah, there we go. Safety car in this lap. So we are going to see these guys push like a hell. So hopefully we can get a good safety car restart. If Nana gets a good safety car restart like he did last time, bolts from free gloves, I think that's it. That is your race done, folks. Well, let's see what Nano does. I think, will the same strategy work? I'm not too sure. I think if he bolts too early, then free gloves will read him this time. But free gloves does seem to be caught napping a lot of the time. So, you know, Nano just needs to really go for it. And Nano's tried the same tactic once again, but Three Gloves is very aware to it. And Greeny is also very aware to it. So let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, there's contact with Callum! Callum and Duo already. I said Duo was going to be the cork in the bottle. And there's battles here, left, right and centre. Ash Best also going wheel to wheel with Jack Lacey. These drivers, like I say, do not want to give an inch. Duo Finn and Callum Anderson going side by side as well. As we're going to go on board with Callum Anderson, is Jack Lacey really not giving Ash Best the room, and it's brilliant driving to see from Callum's perspective. Ash will keep the car up there on the inside, and Jack will take two off the racetrack to try and keep his position, but I think it's fair game. There wasn't a lot of room given as Ash tries to give him as much room as possible. And look at this, Callum Anderson's got the traction as well. Don't do anything stupid, Callum. As Ash Best, you got to not put your nose there, oh, no, Callum. Stop putting your nose in. You just got to wait, bide your time, wait for the straights. You've got the speed, you've got the fresh tyres, just bide your time. You've already got Duo out of the way, but like I said, these guys are hard customers, and Duo is getting absolutely murked. He's been absolutely bummed, but Louis has been bummed as well. There is cars left, right and centre. The Williams is going to be three in a bed. It's going to end in tears. There's no way Praga's locked up, surely. I don't know where Praga's actually gone. Oh, there's contact. Oh, Praga's round. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. Three in a bed does not go. Ian is like, oh, and AMS is locked up as well. And oh, Jew, it's all over the place. And Praga has left the session. Oh my God, it's all kicking off. Duo Finn being the man to really hold these guys up, and Louis lost out, Dino's lost out. Callum Anderson's actually avoided all of this, but he's poking his nose in places it doesn't really belong, as Dino now looks to be attacking Ash Best down the straight. Dino, get the move done. You've got to get the move done. Get in overtake. What's he doing? Oh, Dino, you had to be more aggressive, my friend. You've got to get Ash Best out the way. He's slow. He's a boat. He is a Navy battleship at the moment. He is not very quick. You've got to get him done. Come on, Dino. Round the outside. Go on. Give us some action. Go on. Do the switchback. Go on, Dino. You've got to get him. You've got to get him. He's having a good. Oh, brilliant from Dino. You've got to keep it in. You've got to keep it in. Oh, Dino, a bit too nice, it must be said. Oh, he picks up another penalty though. As we see, I think that's PDG Louis. Yeah, Louis lost it. I don't know if someone's had a crash with him, but he has lost it at some point, and Louis has left the session as well. Not very good at all. As we're going to see, Jack Lacey. Yeah, you see, I told you, Jack Lacey's not one of these guys to give up. And he will fight tooth and nail for his position. If he feels he can get it back, he will get it back. Greeny as Jack actually puts it down there. That is silly. That is very silly, and these drivers are aggressive, as you know, I once said, but Jack, you can't be poking your nose down there, my friend. As Dino really being held up. You know, Dino has a chance of a podium here if he can dispatch these guys, but he's really got to get a move on now. This is really hampering Dino's race. He's got to get a move, and we're going to go further down the field because I think Uwe Azim is looking to either move, and also Sutty is making his way up with Sam T, but we are going to go further up the field because Callum Anderson has got DRS and should dispatch Greeny a treat down the straight. We will see this. Callum Anderson. Oh, Greeny, and he swiped him on the straight. Greeny's going to keep up the inside though. That's brave. That's very brave. He's going to give Callum 100% a penalty for that as Callum keeps it in overtake. It's ballsy from Callum, and he did have to do it. He did have to do it, and Greeny nearly swiping him on the straight. So Greeny got something wrong with that Williams if he's turning mid-straight. I imagine it's obviously tactics just to keep him out of the way as AMS gets past Durofin also. But Dino, yeah, still stuck behind Ash. He's got to get a move done. Come on, Dino. You've got to get a move done, my friend. He's got to be on this straight. If you're not getting past him on this straight, you've lost your chance at a podium. He's got to get it done. Come on, Dino. I want to see Dino on the podium in this Ferrari. He's driven a decent race so far, and he's not really put a foot wrong. He's just got to get the pace going. Come on, you've got him. You've got him now. He's got him now. Come on, Dino. Down the inside, as we see also Greeny and Jack Lacey. Jack Lacey gets the move done, but here comes Dino. Oh, beautiful braking for that turn there for the final sector. We are going to keep on board with Dino for as long as possible. We will have to transition to Callum at some point while he makes some overtakes further up the field, but Dino's on a charge now. I did say he's got to get the move done. Oh, he's made a bit of a mistake there, but as long as he keeps within the 1 second, he should catch these guys. He's got to get rid of Green in the next lap as well. He's left himself a lot of work to do, but the podium is still there as Callum Anderson sets the fastest lap of the race and should dispatch Three Gloves very comfortably. Here, Three Gloves, I think, has got to think of the third place. He knows he can get a podium if he drives smart, and he is just going to let him pass. Three Gloves, bit of a wet wipe, must be said. Three Gloves, yeah, it's intelligent now, but earlier in the race as well, letting people pass for free. It's a bit of a wet wipe move, and I want to see battles. I want to see commitment. Oh, you know, it's a pre-season. Get your teeth in. Come on. You know, Dino's really getting his teeth in. Look how much curb he's taking there. Come on, Dino. He's got to go as fast as he possibly can. You can tell he's pushing the limits because he's got so many penalties. It's unbelievable. But I just want to say Dino can be on the podium as Three Gloves is obviously dropping back now. I think he's got to get Greeny on this straight. He is close enough. He has got the speed and he's got the ERS. Greeny is struggling for ERS. So if Dino can just get a good... Oh, no, it's not a very good corner for Dino. But he's got to push. Come on. He's got to push. You've got to get him on this straight. It's going to be hard. If you can't get him on this straight, it has to be on the start-finish straight. It has to be on the start-finish straight. Come on, get a bit of overtake. Use a bit of overtake. Get a bit closer. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, let off a bit early. Very tentative on the brake from Dino there. As Ash Best looks to be actually coming back at this battle here. I think Greeny's softs are really struggling now. As you see him actually lose it nearly. Dino's going to be loving this. Really eyeing up the Williams now. Don't pull a stupid move, Dino. Come on, you got him. Down the straight. As Lickle Blocks has left the session. I don't know why Lickle's there. Oh, Greeny's just parked it on the final corner, which is rubbish. really hampering Dino there, as it's going to allow Jack Lacey to get away. But here he comes, Dino now. Yep, it's going to be easy pickings down the straight for Dino. It should be a very simple move, and yeah, that's how you do it, Dino. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Dwayne has nothing to answer for and definitely will not be coming back at these guys anytime soon. We've got Sam and Oogie Azim, Hammer and Tonga as well. I want to go back to Dino at some point, as the gap between the top two is slowly coming down. I don't know if Nano can hold on. He's hovering over that 1 second limit, but I think Callum, obviously on the fresh set of softs, has got the advantage here. Dino seems to be catching Jack Lacey as well. So Dino, if he can get on a charge this lap, I think he might be able to get DRS. Yeah, he's driving his absolute arse off. Look at Dino, he's pulled an absolute yard on Greeny. So here he comes. Dino knows he can smell a podium. I think the podium is a bit far for him. He left it a bit too late to get past Ash. I think if he could have got past Ash a bit sooner, then a podium definitely on the cards. As you see Greeny and Ash battling it out, actually, with a Renault right behind of AMS. So yeah, Dino, he's actually got it down to 1 second. So Dino really on a charge. Oh no, it's gone back up. No, Dino. No, what's happened? No, it's coming back down again. I don't know if I'll have it for the straight. No, probably not. But it's going to be a fight for fourth, at least for Dino, which is very impressive. Callum's obviously closed the gap as well to the lead. I don't think he will go on this lap. I think he'll wait and then get him on the next lap. But they are very close at the front. Let's see what happens here. Greeny and Ash are going to go side by side. Greeny obviously not going to give the position up. Actually locks his brain, just sends Ash off the track. Yeah, Greeny. Yeah, well done, Ash. Yeah, Greeny just, I don't know, it's just a bit too much, I think. Legal overtake, I think Ash has got, and had to go. Oh god, it's going to be 3 in a bed again with involving AMS. It's always 3 in a bed. What is going on? And Oogie Azim out of nowhere. Oogie Azim, he's going to take 2 in one corner. No, he's not. Is that a spinning racing point? No, but Ash is getting absolutely mullered. It's going to be 3 in a bed. Maybe wants to go. Oh, and Oogie pushes him off the track. He pushes him off the track. It's absolutely mental. Here it's Sochi. It's really, really coming down to the wire for these guys. They're battling for so many points, and everybody wants as many as they can get. And Ash Best has been utterly mugged, complete and utterly mugged. He's got nothing left in them mediums. You see yellow flags in sector 3. I'm not too sure who that is. We'll probably get on board with them at some point, as we see AMS and Oogie going side by side. Oh my god, what is going on? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's Clown. It's Clown Division. It's FC Clown. AMS completely locks his brakes, smashes into the Williams. There's damage all over the place. It is... I'm sorry, it's not the most professional commentary of all time. As Duo finish round, as well as AMS is getting passed by absolutely. Look at this driving. It's utterly disgraceful. The director and the admins, oh, donkeys. What are they doing? Oogie, no DRS for him. It's going to be an absolute shit show going down into turn 1. AMS is going to go down and look at this. Oh my god. What the hell? What the hell? Rubbish. Utter rubbish. Oh, that is poor. That is really poor. I can't believe what I've just seen. The comments are going, I'm sorry, I can't keep my composure. There's nothing good you can say at the moment. It's all gone to shit. The FP race has got too heated. The last couple of laps, Callum Anderson, I think, has made a mistake actually, or he's got damage of some sort, because Nano Bacon's going to win the race. We're going to watch Jack Lacey on the final lap. He's got to use everything at his disposal to keep 3 gloves. He's going to go for it. It's Jack Lacey. He will go for it, and that's going to be a good move. We can get that. That is brilliant. What a move from Jack Lacey on the final lap for the podium spot. It's really kicking off here at Sochi. Unbelievable scenes. I've not seen driving like this in a very long time, since season 10, back on like F1 2010, where it was just donkey divisions. But oh my god, it's definitely offered some entertainment. I'm not too sure if Jack Lacey will keep it on merit. Penalties will come into play, but Nano Bacon crosses the line and will take victory here at Sochi with 3 gloves claiming the podium. But obviously Jack Lacey did do it on track. Dino comes home 5th. Ash Best will come across the line and take 5th away from Dino. Oogie Azim will cross the line and take 5th away from both of them. Sam will also take Dino and Ash Best on penalties, with Sutty overtaking duo Finn on the final lap. Look at these two. Duo's going to take down the inside. Look at this. The Mercedes boys all over each other. I don't even know what happened. What's going on? Sutty got 11th and Duo got 10th. Duo beats his teammate on the final corner. What the hell have I just watched? I cannot believe it. The final lap chaos in FP. Oh my Jesus. Oh dearie me. And sorry I didn't catch Nano coming across the line, but there's too much action to kind of to bear. I can't believe what I've just seen. Oh dear. Sound like some of the comments. I missed FP. Looking forward to starting. What did I sign up to? CC Brain, really loving what he's seeing on track. Yeah, there's your classifications. I think Oogie spun more times than he's had penalties, so that says a lot. And he gets 5th. Oogie gets 5th. As you see the classifications of Formula FP. Wow, I hope it's. I do agree, Reed. Only in FP. I hope it's not as chaotic in a few more in the races to come. I hope it's a bit more controlled aggression and a bit more clean. But when you've got drivers like Sutty getting 27 seconds worth of penalties, you know you're here for the right reasons. FP has been a pleasure to commentate, and there are your top 10 or top 14 actually on the screen. Too many DNFs for why I like it. There's people tuning in very late. But it has been a pleasure to be a part of the pre-season here at Sochi. And wow, that is, if you wanted your fans to get interested, then that's how you do it, boys. That is how you do it. Ambition ahead of adhesion for a lot of guys. As CC Brain says, probably all desync. Yeah, of course. Yep, I do agree. Game breaker. What do you say? Well, that has been Sochi. I'm not going to do any podium interviews because there's no point. It was going to be Nano Bacon and Callum, and it's only a pre-season. Congratulations to them guys. Hopefully they can carry the momentum, but I think obviously allocations will be shifted for the start of the race. I don't think those guys deserve the Red Bull. They're way too fast for anybody, especially Callum. Definitely too quick for that Red Bull racing. But anyway, I've been Lordy-MK. It's now 20 to 10, and I feel like I'm going to pass out. So congratulations once again to the guys, top 3, and wow, I'm just going to leave you with that. What a race. Catch you guys next week, maybe sooner if there's any more streams for me to commentate, but catch you next week 8 PM for the start of the season. Alright, see you guys in a bit.